Marcus Stroman has been very impressive since he became a starter in late May. Last time out, 7 innings, just 4 singles against the Texas Rangers. No walks. That's the third time that he is.
Marcus Stroman can walk off the field proud. 1 hit through 7 innings.
Drafted by the Blue Jays, Marcus Stroman seems to have played his last time on a major league mound. Released by an already very depleted Yankee rotation, this points to more or less the end of the Stro Show. Now, how did a guy who had multiple different hype videos as a rookie, and was beloved as a rookie, tarnish his name as a Blue Jay, and end up being so unlikable to most fans? Coming out the gate, Marcus Stroman wasn't the tallest. Like some of these massive tall flamethrowers we see now, Marcus was the opposite. 5'7", a blue chip prospect, but he was always told that, hey, you can't make it. You're too short for your position, and you don't fit the mold. His dad, who was a police officer in New Jersey, told him, channel this, and proved them wrong. Make them eat their words. And boy, he would. That would be the fire he needed to make it to the MLB. And become a story people are rooting him for. So at this point, how did a guy who was this beloved then mess it up? Well, then came his personality. You see, Marcus has never been a humble player on the mound. He had antics that were sometimes good, but sometimes bad, and as years went by, it just seemingly got worse. From dodgy interviews to blocking reporters who critique him to lashing out on Twitter. Then came interviews where he would lash out on his own teammates for lack of run support, try to backtrack it on Twitter. Things got ugly fast. Stroman not only dug a hole for his PR, but in 2019 he was shit on his new front office, Atkins and Shapiro, which would be the end of his Jays tenure. Sometimes I wonder, can hate really get to an athlete? You make millions, you play the sport you love, so can random people or reporters get to you? Stroman was a notch above. Stroman became a Twitter savant. People could poke jabs at Stroman and they could easily rattle him up. This also becomes an issue for the clubhouse. Teams already know you have a strong personality. Then you add this online presence. The word toxicity being thrown around mainly comes from this, and him being a locker room cancer, from most accounts, allegedly. In fact, when a reporter asked him this year if he would take a bullpen job, his response was,
considering your pedigree, could you handle being a reliever?
I'm sorry.
So right now, you're a 6 star, so how do you handle that?
See, I'll play that. I'm sorry.
You don't want to bullpen. I don't pitch bullpen.
I'm sorry.
arrogance, and a hot-headed narcissist at the age of 34. In fact, let's dissect this tweet. Do we see the issue? It was 2022. The tweet had no correlation to Marcus Stroman, yet he made it about himself. And is his name Steven Matz? We can do a side-by-side comparison. Then he says he's in a league of his own. A very egotistical statement for a career journeyman. Then again, we don't need any more confirmation that you're 5'7". But hey, he has to reference it in everything he does. This reply to a seemingly completely unrelated to Stroman tweet shows all we need to know about Stroman online. Like seriously, someone take his phone and hire a PR manager at this point. Now I know, I've called Stroman some bad characteristics, and like the people who rile him up on Twitter, hopefully he doesn't come after me. Wish me luck. Now, I was a big fan before all the antics in 2019, I could even say he was my favorite pitcher. In fact, Stroman even got a tribute video when he came back to Toronto as a Cub. Mixed bag of boos and some cheers, but hey, he still got one. This latest stint with the Yankees, however, will sting, as most of us will always remember him as his toxic hothead narcissist and not the pit bull rookie that we had all the hope in the world for. Now, Stroman, you've done really well for yourself, but for a guy with a brand, who's two-time All-Star, and he's been a Gold Glover, I still think he sold himself short. Stroman had all the tools, like I mentioned, a blue chip prospect, for a much better resume. But now he just leaves as a journeyman who had 2 good seasons. So yeah, a bittersweet end to the Stro Show, who at one point was the future savior for the Blue Jays pitching staff as a rookie. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the end of this video. Like all stories, some end in blissful harmony, and some end in crude sadness. When someone mentioned in the Blue Jays Facebook group that maybe the Blue Jays could use Stroman on the team for a spare arm, I laughed. To ruin the vibes we have here and bring in a 34-year-old who already has a shattered legacy as a Blue Jay would be clinically insane. No offense. Yet, hopefully and sincerely, if Stroman retires, I wish him a wonderful retirement. A bittersweet end. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and keep watching them Jays. And peace.